Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of a sneaky tornado threat that has developed today in the central United States and the Midwest. Currently, we're using radar of this area, seeing storms, some weak dying storms forming, being in northern Iowa. This is from earlier complex of storms that was forming earlier this morning. You see here from earlier this morning, we had a larger amount of storms in this area, but they've been dying slowly in the last few hours. Right now, it's currently 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, this dying storm complex has, here it is in northern Iowa, and you can see it's starting to, it's kind of left a little bit of a capped environment. So, going to our service observations, you can see we have a bit of a we have two surface lows. Currently, one in Kansas, one in South Dakota. Now, looking at our moisture, we have a very nice moisture of 60s and 70s, high 60s and low 70s dew points around the whole area of the Central Plains and Midwest. Looking at our boundaries, we have this thing reset. Looking at our boundaries, we have here we have a bit of a wind shift. We have winds coming from the south. Let me go an hour earlier just so I can see them better. Yeah. Here we have a wonderful wind shift. Oh, wait, let me make this red. We have a wonderful wind shift here from we have uh winds coming from the southeast here. Winds coming from more from the south this way. So we have a bit of a wind shift here. Let me just draw it to this one. And behind it, we have a wind shift of winds coming from the northwest. And in front of it, winds coming from the south. So we have a wind shift here. So in between these two boundaries, we have our warm sector, which is going to be moving in the next few hours. Here we have our warm sector mostly in Nebraska and Kansas, and it's going to be moving to the east in the next few hours. Looking at our mesoscale, if we go to 700 millibars and see our short waves, you can see here's our short wave. Here's this U-shape thing. There's a U-shape area here. And this is the one that's been causing our storms in northern Iowa. You can see here we have another U-shape. We go down, we go back up. Here's another U-shape in central Nebraska. Let me just draw the middle of it. Here's our axis. So in the next few hours, the short wave is going to be moving more towards the Nebraska-Iowa border. Currently, we have our low levels. We do have a bit of a low-level jet, but it's in a concentrated area, and it's going to be mostly concentrated as we move into the evening in the next few hours. Now, moving into our model data. Currently, right now at 18Z, we have, like I said, here's our low level. Here's our surface low in South Dakota. Here's our wind shift. Winds from the south, and then winds from the north. So in the next few hours, this is going to be the surface low itself is going to be a little bit more weaker. Oh, right before I move to that, here's our short waves. So right now we have our short wave in Iowa. It's for this one is showing it more in Iowa itself instead of more northern. But here we have a short wave in Iowa, and we have another U. Just drawing in the black lines that are showing. Here we have another short wave in central Nebraska. In the next few hours, this shortwave is going to be moving out of the way. Look, here's 7 p.m. That shortwave has moved away, and now this shortwave here is now more impacting. Usually, storms are going to be lifting to the east of the shortwave, so this area to the east of it is going to be our area of focus. So here in this area, we can see by 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to have adequate moisture still. We are going to be in 70s dew points. And our boundaries, even though the surface low has become a little bit more not as concentrated, our boundaries are going to be a little bit more obvious. So what's a good contrast to make it let me just make it green. Here you can see we have a temperature. Here's hotter temperatures to the south of it. Here's more cooler temperatures to the north. Here we have 70s, high 70s. Here we have mid to high 60s. And there's a bit of a wind shift. You can see here winds are more from the southeast, and here winds are more from the east. So here's a boundary here, and we have another boundary here. You can see winds. Let me erase this short wave drawing. You can see here winds are coming from the northwest, and then here winds are coming from the south. So here's our boundary between wind shifts. So this whole area at 7 p.m. is going to be our warm sector. Now if I draw our surface, if I draw our shortwave again, like I said, to the east of it is going to be our important area. So directly to the east of it is going to be here in here's eastern to southeastern Nebraska is our environment. Here's where we could see we have high instability of our 4,000 to 3,000. We have some high emission, which is going to be making our cloud bases higher. We have some adequate low-level instability. We have nice lapse rates. We have good shear for supercells, and we have adequate shear for tornadic supercells. And because our cloud bases are high, and we have adequate instability and freezing level, this is going to be an area more favorable for. It could go either or. We could have a tornadic environment because we have right at about the edge of where tornadoes are not as likely, but because we still have a tornadic environment, but we definitely have a severe hail environment of measuring up to almost 3 inches diameter. But this is in southeastern Nebraska here. If we check our low level jet, which is going to make our tornadic shear more favorable. If we take it somewhere around here in the Iowa Missouri border, sounding there, we have a way more favorable environment for tornadoes. We have very high instability, a less capped environment, meaning our cloud bases are lower. We have winds coming out of the southeast, which are perfect. We have very high low-level instability. We have very nice lapse rates. We have nice supercell shears. We have very, very nice tornadic supercells. We have a curved photograph. Looking at the one from eastern Nebraska, it was not as favorable. It wasn't as this is the one that we have in the Iowa Missouri border. This one is way better. This one's way better than the one that's in eastern Nebraska. Yeah, here basically in this area is where all our ingredients are taking place. We have our low level jet here, and we have our nice dew points, and we have nice lapse rates and everything. So, and because we're in front of this shortwave trough, here we have a shortwave to the east of it. So we're in a favorable area where storms developing here. Now we look at our high resolution models. Let's go to the HRRR. So you can see right now it's showing the storms that are in northern Iowa right now. Yeah, here's the storms in northern Iowa, and here they are in HRRR. Now in the next few hours, as that shortwave approaches the area, here's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. We have cells in the area I said of eastern Nebraska, Iowa, and the Iowa-Missouri border here. Taking a sounding in front of this cell that's being, remember, this is just educated guesses from these models saying where storms are going to be forming and everything, but the ingredients, but the synoptic and everything, the geometry of this environment is showing that this is a favorable area anyway. So here we have high instability, we have higher inhibition and making our cloud bases higher, making it not as favorable for tornadoes, but it's still possible. There's tornadoes are still possible with this environment, but this is favoring more of a large hail environment. But tornadoes are still possible. Our RRFS. Let's see what that shows. Yeah, this is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a cell forming in eastern Nebraska. And this is a better environment. Let me just take it a little bit more to the in its inflow layer. So we have still high instability. We have a less capped environment, making the cloud bases lower. We have a high low level instability. We have nice shear, nice supercell shear, nice tornadic shear. We have a curved hodograph. So yeah, this is a look at this instability. Very nice instability. So yeah, like for just point it out again. This is the area favorable. This is HRRR. This is a RFS showing this. This is and HRRR showed it in a similar area. So this is why the Storm Prediction Center has outlined the 5% tornado risk right in the area I've been saying of eastern Nebraska and Iowa, Missouri, and a bit of Kansas. In the intersection of those four states, and there's a favorable area for tornadoes today, most likely in the 7 p.m. and later hours.